everyone, I'm Jamie Little. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to today's very special No One Runs on Empty virtual fundraising event, hosted by the Michael Andretti Foundation and the George Ford Foundation and presented to you by Brightmark. Well, we have lots in store for you today, with all of the funds generated from today's event benefiting an amazing organization right here in Indianapolis, Gleaners Food Bank, and its No One Runs on Empty campaign. And here's how you can help. From this event page, you can simply make a direct donation, or you can click on the Items tab on this page to bid on all the amazing auction items we have available to you today. The list is endless. We have an exclusive VIP IndyCar race weekend experience, New York Yankees collectibles, autographed memorabilia, gift certificates, a customized work of art from legendary motorsports artist Bill Patterson, and so much more. Again, all you have to do is click the Items tab on this page to see everything that is available. There is truly something for everyone. The auction closes at the end of this program, so once you find something you like, hurry up and place your bid. And just in case you needed some more motivation to support this great cause, let's join Andretti Autosport driver James Hinchcliffe as he takes a private tour of Gleaners Food Bank with company CEO John Elliott.
Hey guys, James Hinchcliffe here, and I'm at the Gleaners Food Bank in Indianapolis, and today we're going to get a behind-the-scenes tour of the facility here from President and CEO John Elliott. And on top of learning what they do and how they do it, we're also going to get an inside look at how Gleaners is really helping the community here in Indianapolis, and also, very importantly, how your contributions are helping close the meal gap here in town. So let's go take a look. Well, hello, John.
James, welcome. The handshakes will have to wait some other time.
The 2020 handshake, yeah.
So welcome to Gleaners.
Thank you so much for having me. Really excited for the tour.
And I'll take you on a tour, but I thought if we want to take just a minute, I can tell you a little bit about what Gleaners does.
That'll be perfect.
Because I find a lot of people know about our traditional food bank role, but there's more to Gleaners than that.
Okay.
As a food bank, we're part of Feeding America, one of 200 food banks in the country, and every county in the U.S. is assigned to a food bank. Gleaners, the food bank, pre-pandemic used 4 distribution channels. Brick and mortar food pantries and community centers and so on, where there's an actual location to distribute from.
Right, and then you've got mobile units
as well. And then mobile pantries, where we go out and set up in a parking lot like we did at the Motor Speedway.
Right.
And then we also have pantries inside schools.
Right.
So school-based pantries. And backsack locations where we were using 243 schools to distribute backsacks for kids over the weekend. And that's why we saw food lines more than double across the 21 counties. In most places in Marion County, we're doing 4 or 5 times the number of households we were the same weeks last year.
Wow, that's a huge increase.
It's huge. So we also do 3 other things at this facility. We're a reclamation site for Kroger, so surplus food and non-food from Kroger stores in Indiana and Illinois are sent here by the semi-load and then they're sorted.
Okay.
And most of it we're allowed to donate into the hunger relief system.
Right.
Food and non-food, But then some goes back to vendors or is discarded. And that brings quite a bit into the system.
For sure.
We also work with our Feeding America national office and respond to disaster relief. Prior to spring of 2017, we were getting 0 pounds of fresh produce straight from the farm.
Right.
We just finished fiscal 2020 with almost 40,000 pounds
of
fresh produce.
Because I mean,
sorry, 40 million pounds.
40 million pounds.
Yeah, my math's off a little bit.
Yeah.
From 0 to 40 million pounds of fresh produce is a huge impact, but it's not just it's about the quantity of produce. We're really pushing hard for healthier, more nutritious food.
Of course.
We had to convert, because of the health protocols of the pandemic, to no contact drive-through. So you're seeing...
So the drive-through system didn't exist pre-pandemic?
No.
Okay.
No. And even our mobile pantries that are out in parking lots were set up for them to walk around the Gleaners truck at tables and pick up food.
Right.
Where they can choose what they want.
Incredible.
So you want to take a walk and see some food?
Let's do it.
All right. So we stage a little bit of food here, what I would call fast movers.
Okay.
We're the food pantries that come, we also use that chute for other things. So food pantries, some come pick up their food from us.
Yep.
Some we deliver to, and then some larger ones, their trucks back and forth. So we're using that for orders. So we're picking or pulling orders for pantries, putting them at the numbered stops out in the chute, and off they go.
Amazing.
We're really focused on business efficiency and operating this at industry standards and saving money any way we can
Right.
on non-food costs,
Right.
so we have more money to spend on the food.
Of course. There you
And
go. When you donate money, you're looking at what it's buying right here. These pallets of food, helping people. So how big is this facility? What are we looking at square
It's
footage?
300,000 square feet.
Not small.
No, no.
Yeah, I had no
It's
idea.
the second largest building in the Feeding America network. I'll pull another string.
Another one? Oh.
Sure.
My lucky day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get these installed at the house. And so like I see here, dental kits. So it's not even just food you're helping
Yeah,
people
we
with.
do more non-food than people would realize. And you know, when you think about how many distribution centers there are in Indiana, you know, Kroger has food and non-food facilities in the state. Walmart does. CVS and Walgreens are nearby. Target. You know, all of those retailers, they're donating more and more non-food. And if a family can't afford to buy food, if they're struggling with that, they're probably struggling to buy toiletries and hygiene and household cleaning items. You
course.
know, in the pandemic, they need the same things we do.
Yeah.
So any way we can save them money, we'll do it. We've seen such generosity.
That's incredible.
We really
It's-
have.
That's the kind of teamwork in the community
Yeah.
you need to see, right?
Yeah.
People helping people.
I may be a little biased as a native Hoosier, but I do think, you know, we really do tend to rally together
Yeah.
when
for
you
sure.
need help. And maybe that happens in other places too. I just like to think
Right.
it's special here, you know.
It happens better here.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
it. That's what I mean.
I mean, how many millions of meals do you distribute a year?
Well, we have not, we've got some early or unaudited numbers,
Right.
but it looks like we did about 87 million pounds of food fiscal 20.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So a bit of a busy year for you guys.
So yeah, you know, that's the sort of thing that gets you an extra bonus at a company, right? You know, but
For sure.
we get something more valuable, which is knowing we fed that many more people.
Of course. But also that means we need that many more
Yeah,
donations.
but it
to
means we're
help
gonna need a
keep
lot
it
more of
going.
these carrots, right?
We need more carrots. We need more potatoes. We need more everything. And so, who's eligible? How do you determine?
You know, it's very much an honor system.
There you go.
You know, I mean, there are expectations, and we'll post those, but people declare, it's self-declared need.
Right. But that's incredible, though. It's incredible
Yeah.
that anybody that feels they need it can just come.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah, it's-
vetting process. There's no application.
Well,
if this is something you need, you come and you get help.
I really want it to be more of a welcoming, respectful customer experience where we do the best we can to help the family with the food. And our new strategic plan is also about partnering with other organizations so we can try to help these families with the other challenges.
Right.
It's very, very rare that somebody's only dealing with hunger.
Because I got to think one of the big challenges for you guys is just letting people know that you exist.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people that want to be charitable and want to
Right.
donate, but might not know this is even an option.
Right.
And I feel like hopefully you find that this partnership is helping get the name out there a bit.
And the big need now is obviously we're going to continue to have a financial need over the next several years because it will take several years for families to recover.
Well, John, thank you so much for the tour. I mean, it's an incredible facility, an incredible mission. What you guys are doing here is just, it's blown away. I had no idea this was kind of in my backyard in a sense. So proud to be a kind of supplanted Hoosier and proud to be part of this cause. And guys, this all happens because of you. This all happens from donations, whether they're financial, donating your time, come volunteer, you know, bid on the items like we talked about. And at the end of the day, they're here, they're trying to close the meal gap, and you guys can be a big part of that. So please help out, and thanks for watching.
This is a potato. This particular potato was raised in the Midwest by Craig. Potatoes have inspired things like fries, tots, competitions, and toys. One potato has roughly 160 calories. A calorie measures the amount of fuel humans need to function. This is Ruby. Ruby loves potatoes, but her family doesn't have money for the supermarket, so she'll have to wait to have energy. The potato not yet purchased is subsequently gleaned from the store. All the gleaned food comes to this food bank where volunteers help organize and redistribute it. This is the largest food bank in Indiana. It's called Gleaners. Now the potato from Craig that didn't sell at the market and was collected by Gleaners is combined with other food and given to families in need, like Ruby's. The potato gives Ruby the fuel she needs to function and grow up without hunger. This potato is just one of the tens of thousands of food items Gleaners distributes in a day. Ruby is just one of the 1 million people who need food every day in Indiana. Gleaners needs your help. Go to gleaners.org and click Donate now.
Every food is critical for our hungry neighbors. Success these days is measured not just by the number of meals or the number of pounds of food, but what's that nutritious variety we can offer them? And fresh, nutritious staple items like a potato forms the foundation of a meal that we can build on with other donations. There's a role to play for corporate partners far more than you might think. You may not realize what a large and complicated organization this is, particularly when you think about our regional co-op role, our role in feeding 21 Indiana counties, our natural disaster response, and the retail store reclamation activity. So whether you're an engineer, you're an educator, you're an accountant, you're in operations, whatever role you play, I guarantee we can find a way to match your skills and your expertise with challenges facing Gleaners. It's not acceptable in this Hoosier state that we have a 150 million meal a year gap, and that was before the COVID-19 pandemic. We think that meal gap may as much as doubled, and that's not acceptable. Because the counties that Gleaners serves, including the capital city and metro area, we're responsible for filling about 1/3 of that gap, or 53 million meals pre-COVID. That's a daunting task, but we can do it with the right help. To help us close that meal gap, go to gleaners.org/no-one-runs-on-empty.
Hey everybody, Bill Patterson here in my studio in South Texas. Excited to be back painting for the Michael Andretti Foundation this year with the George IV Foundation, producing a painting that we're going to auction off to benefit the Gleaners Food Bank of Indiana. Excited about that. I've been painting with the Michael Andretti Foundation for, I think it's got to be, it's over 15 years anyway, and I'm excited to be back. I'm honored to be asked every year to come back and paint. Tonight I'm going to try something I've never tried before. I've worked it out in my head. I'm going to be working this canvas. It's 60 by 30, but I'm excited about my idea for it. Something very different, something I can't really do in a setting like we've had in the past. I think with that I'll get going. So this is a new way of doing a painting I have never attempted before. I swore to myself that if this painting didn't turn out as I had hoped, it would never see the light of day, but I'm thrilled with the results. Lots and lots and lots of layers of color. And I fought this painting a couple of times, but then I slowed down and let the painting tell me what it wanted, and I'm really pleased with the results, and the process was so much fun. Definitely want to do more of these. I'm excited to be part of the venue tonight, excited that this piece could make some great money for a great cause, and as always, thanks to the Michael Andretti Foundation for letting me come in and participate. This piece, finished piece, yeah, I'm pretty good, huh? This piece is 5 feet wide, 60 inches wide by 30 inches tall, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio. I am going to wait for the paint to dry, and then I'll be putting a heavy coat of clear varnish on it that'll really pop the texture and the color. There's lots and lots of layers and lots of texture and some great color that just kind of the whole thing kind of shimmers. I'm really excited about the finished product. Hope you are too. Hope it'll make some great money for a great cause. Wish I was there. Wish we could do this in person, and hopefully we will be doing that exact thing next year. In the meantime, I'm excited to help make some great money for a great cause. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Bye.
Welcome back to the program. I'm now joined by Michael Andretti and George Steinbrenner IV. Welcome, gentlemen. A little bit different this year.
It's interesting to see where times are going, and we appreciate everybody coming and watching this. I know it's a little bit different than we used to do these things like at my father's winery and Napa and things like that. But unfortunately, those days are gone for the moment. But we appreciate everybody coming in. Hopefully, going to spend a lot of money, buy a lot of cool stuff that we have on the auction.
Absolutely. That's the great thing. There's still some great auction items. And I want to ask you both about Gleaners Food Bank. We know in Indianapolis, what they do for the community is huge. But how have you guys been touched? Tell me your experience. Michael, I'll start with you.
When we first went down there and visited their facility, it was amazing to see what they do out of that one facility. I think they said something like they're putting out like 1.5 million meals a week. I mean, that's incredible just here in Indianapolis, and what they do and how they help the community is amazing. Their operation's amazing, the way it's all set up. It's almost like a race team, everybody's got their job and all that stuff. So it's really proud to be associated with them. It's great for us to have a partner like that that's right here in our backyard, that we can just give back to the community that's been so great, to us.
Absolutely. And George, in your experience?
Just going down there when we were first setting this partnership up on the race team side, just seeing how they operate and how many people they touch, especially in this time, when food insecurity is so much higher than it has been in decades, for them to be able to do what they do and do what they do so successfully, and the partnerships they have with local suppliers in the Indianapolis community that really come together and help try to solve this food insecurity problem, and something that we're really, really thankful we get to be a part of helping.
Yeah, I can't imagine another year bigger where more families are in need like this year. Well, the Michael Andretti Foundation has been around a long time, but the George IV Foundation is something new. What was the motivation behind starting your own foundation?
I thought forming my own foundation was a good way to branch out not only my family's effort, but my own personal effort into a new community. The New York City community and the Tampa community we've been working in for decades, but the Indianapolis community is a new venture in trying to make lives better in this community that I've called home for 4 years.
And it has been home for 4 years. We see you down there on the timing stand for Colton Herta. How has your experience been, and what started it all for you?
My experience in racing really started when I was very young. My cousin Tony Renna was an IndyCar driver in the early 2000s. My uncle Chris Simmons has been an engineer in IndyCar for 2 decades now, and so just growing up, going to races, going to more and more every year, and growing this love for the sport, this passion, and being able to partner with Michael and Indy Lights in 2017 with Colton, and then growing it now to a race-winning IndyCar program has been a really cool journey, and something that thankfully we're looking to continue in the future.
So George, we see you on the timing stand every week. You're very invested. What exactly are you doing? What is your kind of role on race weekends?
So I've been fortunate the last 2 years to work with a really good team on the pit stand. Something that has always interested me so much is race strategy, trying to figure out how to get the car from start to finish in the fastest possible way. And that involves what tires put on when, what tires do you start the race on, all that stuff. So got a great team with Brian Barnhart, Nathan O'Rourke, Brian Page on the stand, and we work really well together, and we had a great chemistry, and we feel like we made a lot of good decisions that got us to where we needed to be to finish third in the championship, alongside Colton's great driving. So that's sort of where I've been able to carve my niche of my passion in the sport, specifically being on how to make the car go faster from the pit stand.
That's awesome. And for you, I mean, Michael, first off, just from a team owner perspective, what you guys had to go through this year with COVID and starting and stopping, and what was all of that like for you?
It was a bit tough, I think, but it's no different than everybody, I think, in the world right now. But we made it through it. I think there's a lot of things we learned going through it that are probably going to help us make us stronger in the future. We made it, got through the year. Hopefully when we get into next year, we won't have to worry about it. Hopefully by then we'll have a vaccine and all that, and we can just focus 100% just on the racing.
All right, so the season is over, but we're in the race shop and things are happening like it is race season. What does your off season look like?
Oh, it's flat out. The guys are working flat out, you know, working on the cars, tearing them down and going through every little piece. Then we got a lot of programs like wind tunnel testing, shaker rig testing, gearbox testing, all the normal stuff. So, you know, there's no rest here. I mean, everybody's flat out. They'll be flat out until we get the cars back on the racetrack for St. Pete.
How about you, George? You wide open working with the team in the off season? No downtime for you?
You know, as Michael said, the guys on the shop floor are working tirelessly to, you know, make sure that when St. Pete comes around that every single nook and cranny's been checked and everything's optimized to its fullest potential. And also the guys upstairs at the shop here are working commercially to try and find money to make sure that these 5 cars are going to run as well as they can with the sponsors coming on board. So there really is no off season in racing. You know, we might not be on track, but we're working every day. So it's part of the job.
And Michael, what's this partnership been like for you, having George so involved and seeing a driver like Colton be able to climb the ranks and do so well in IndyCar?
I think it's been great. I mean, at first it was great to get the Steinbrenners to be part of IndyCar. You know, it's such a great name, and then to, you know, get to know George. You know, it's been 4 years now, and I remember when I met him, he couldn't even drink yet. You know, so he's that young, and it's been fun to watch him grow. And the kid's very, very sharp, gets it, understands racing, and I think he's got a long future in the sport.
And I love what you're doing now, giving back, and that's what the racing community really is all about. So let's talk about some of the auction items, because everybody's having a good time tonight, tuning in and watching, seeing what's available, but we're asking for you to put your bids in. So do you each have a favorite item that's up for grabs tonight?
I do. I mean, the Patterson paintings are really dear to us. They do painting at every event we do, and if you go and walk around our race shop, you'll see him all over our race shop. We think he does a great job, and it's a very cool thing that he does.
How about you, George?
We got some signed jerseys, some signed balls, signed hats by some of the biggest stars, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres. So those are some items that are really cool. And then we have Colton's helmet that he wore at the Harvest GP that he got the podium with. So that's another cool item as well that we've got on deck.
Helmets or fire suits, you can't go wrong, right? So awesome. Well, we hope to raise a lot of money. We hope that you put your bids in. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing this. I know we're learning as we go, but I think this is going to be a great turnout. The Andretti and Steinbrenner families are 2 of the most recognizable and influential families in professional sports history, and now they've united to make a positive impact in the community. In our next segment, we'll learn more about their commitment to the Gleaners Food Bank and how your family can help make a difference too.
Family in our life has been everything, you know. I mean, the sport has been so generous to all of us in our family, and we've had a million memories, it seems like, of just doing things together.
In my life, my family has been the most important thing to me. We've always been very, very close and have always shared the same ideals, a lot of the same passions, because starting with my grandfather.
Deep down, as long as the family was together, everything was fine. I think we could deal with anything as long as we had that bond.
Solid support group, people you can always lean on and will always take care of you and always have your back or always there for you. It is, I mean, it's the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, we've always come to the support of each other in times of need.
We feel very grateful that we are in a position that we can do things to try to help get back in any way to the communities that we race in.
It's always gratifying to be able to be in a position to help someone that's less fortunate.
It really was probably not until college that I realized that not everyone is raised to take care of their community. I was just very lucky to be raised in a family where that is just first and foremost.
It's always been important to me throughout my life because of what my grandfather instilled. To give back to your community, it's a huge point of pride.
It's about giving, being able to give, and again, we know how important that is.
Everything that you receive in life or everything that you work hard for in life that comes to you, you pay it forward, you give it back. and that's just part of your civic duty. It's part of being a human being on the planet.
It's always rewarding to be able to give back. I mean, in my opinion, that's what it's all about.
People struggle all the time, but right now we're in a situation where people are struggling beyond belief. People are losing their jobs, people are losing their homes, people that were already living paycheck to paycheck now either don't have a paycheck or they went from 2 paychecks to 1 and they don't even know where their next meal is going to come from.
Now, as much as ever, is a very important time to give back, and there's no feeling like giving.
We're just so grateful to have a place like Gleaners in Indianapolis that we can partner with and support, that are out there every single day feeding families, providing meals, just taking care of people and helping people who really, really need it.
During these uncertain times, addressing the hunger in our community has never been so important.
Food is fuel for the body and the brain.
A child can't grow or learn if they're hungry.
In Indiana, 1 in 4 children are not able to fulfill their full potential due to food insecurity.
My cars can't run on empty, and neither can a child.
Join me and donate 88 and make a monthly gift today.
For just 88 cents a day, you can help provide 135 meals to hungry kids.
For $88 a month, you can help feed a family for a month. Help us make a difference in your community by donating today.
Every donation makes a difference.
Join in by using hashtag #NoOneRunsOnEmpty.
We're so grateful to all of you who have joined us here tonight. Now, this is your last call to bid on all of our auction items by clicking on the Items tab on this page. This is your last chance, so get those final bids in as quickly as you can before time runs out. We'd like to thank tonight's event partners, our presenting sponsor Brightmark, as well as Firestone, Racer Magazine, Hanley Investment Group, Lusso Production Group, and Grove Holdings. Without your support, this evening certainly wouldn't have been possible. And for those of you who may not have won that auction item that you wanted, well, please know that you can still make a monetary donation to Gleaners Food Bank. And every donation, no matter how big or small, can make a huge difference for a family in need. Please help us ensure that no one runs on empty. Once again, I'm Jamie Little, and on behalf of the Michael Andretti Foundation and the George Ford Foundation, I'd like to say thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you had a wonderful evening.